All right, for my nephew and my favorite godson, this will be a video on how to build a website. You asked me how to build a website. Actually, I think you asked me to build one for you, and I said I'd rather kind of teach you a little bit. I'm not going to teach you really how to write code, but I'm also not going to teach you the most basic, like drag and drop stuff. I want you to have an idea of what is in a website, and yeah, by the end of it, you will have the e-commerce site that you want to sell your CNC mill products as well as 3D printing products. And this is like really hacked together. Even though it's taking a lot of my time up, it's still pretty, like, I'm kind of winging this. So this will be part one, which is what is a website made of. So let me load up the most basic, not that, this is, this is my nice website that I use to promote my web development services. We're going to start off with something really simple, like this. So this is an HTML file, which is what almost every page you see on the web is going to be an HTML file that's put in front of you. And most home pages are index.html. Even if it doesn't show it, it's usually index. They sometimes hide this because it looks cleaner. So all this has is an image, a logo, and then some text. Notice these aren't even links. These aren't even like real links. This is just text. So if we want to see what makes this page up, all we have to do is hit Control-U, or at least that's what it is on Google Chrome on a PC. I'm not sure what it is on the browser that you're using or on a Mac. But that's what we got, and you'll notice that there's a bunch of code here, but the thing about HTML pages is it doesn't have like functions and all that kind of stuff that you might have used when you took C++ or MATLAB or JavaScript, whatever. It's like just structure language. So for example, we have an opening here of HTML and a closed thing of HTML. So everything between there is our HTML. You can see we have an opening for head and a close for head. So everything in there is our head. And so you'll see something like title, open and close, Flannery Science. So that is not actually visible, but that's what shows this label here of Flannery Science in my navigation menu. So this stuff here between head and head is hidden. You also see meta. So I don't know exactly what that is, but meta would be stuff like meta tags. So if you got Google search, and you want to tell the description specifically of what you want to have show up in Google, you would put that there. There's meta tags for Facebook, so that if you share your page, it tells it exactly what picture to use. And I mean, you can look up that stuff when it becomes relevant, but that's kind of the type of thing that would be contained in that part of the page. So let's go down here. So now you have body open and body closed. So like this is the body of what we're looking at. And you can see up here I've got centered, so everything between here and here is centered. You see this open P and closed P, so that stands for paragraph. You're going to use that a lot. And you can see in here I've got an image. So it's like IMG for image, SRC for source. The file name is in quotes, and then you can see the width and height. And if you notice in this folder where the web page exists, there's logo.jpg. So because they're in the same folder, I don't need to have like the entire address here. And then I've got these paragraphs here for more information. Notice that's its own paragraph, and then it skips down to a new paragraph. And I just have BR for line break at the end of the lines to know that it goes to a new line without creating a new paragraph. I know that might sound a little confusing, but if you create a new paragraph, there's like an extra space in there. And when you're styling things, which we'll get into later, structuring things in paragraphs and such is really useful. And then you see this NBSP with an and sign. I think that just means like white space or blank space because there's nothing in that particular paragraph. So that's like the most basics of a website. We've got a little head that tells what the page is. We've just got an image and some text, no links, nothing fancy, just completely bare bones. And the next video I'll show you, we'll get into like a teeny bit of structure and how things begin to get laid out on a page. But that's enough for the first video.